Hi guys, it's Cal from Dirty Weasel, and we're back with another installation tutorial video. And we're going to call this one PerMa Defluffed. And we're going to be covering a couple different mods that will change Perkus Maximus to help you make it a little more user-friendly. The first one is called Defluffing PerMa, done by GioGr. And what it does, it changes the descriptions in the perk trees to make them a little more user-friendly and to describe exactly what each of the perks does. And the second one we'll be covering is ExtendedUI, which works very well with Defluffing PerMa to give you a more polished and professional looking experience while you're in your skill trees. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go in and show you what the vanilla Perkus Maximus skill trees look like and explain one of the issues that guys are talking about and to show you a few examples. Alright, first we're going to take a look at the basic skills interface, and you can see the perk trees are all set for Perkus Maximus. And we're going to show some basic examples of what the vanilla version of PerMa shows for the descriptions. And we'll come up to our blocking, and you see safeguard, an armor may protect, but a trained warrior doesn't let a blow get that close, deflecting painful blows more effectively. Okay? And then you come up to quick reflexes. Only in balance can an attack be turned properly. You've learned the exact amount when to block to disrupt your opponent's rhythm. All right, and that's, you keep going reading through these, and I really like these for the kind of epic feel it gives to each of the perks. And, it really does add to the immersion of the game and makes you feel like you getting a better, description from a, ambiance feel. But, when you get down to it, you think to yourself, well, what do these do really? I love the feel of it, but, there's no numbers. And if you're a numbers guy, this may not be the best choice for you. This may be something that you think, well, I don't know what tree to go down. I don't really know what these do. There are dead ends in this. And if you say, well, if I want to kind of go through here, and if there's, a certain path you want to go to, and what's the end game here? If I'm going heavy weapon handling, and I'm spending perks to get down to beat down, war is hell and it quickly destroys lesser men. As a foremost fighter, use mass of your weapon to just crush your foes quickly. Okay. Well, I've spent all those things, but I really want to know what... Whoa, hang on. I want to know what Wall Breaker does. Planting your feet, you direct the full might of your attack on the target's raised shield, sundering into myriad of pieces. Okay, well, that sounds like it breaks the shield, but I really don't know. Okay? So, you're worried about spending, skill points on those. And I've come up with a couple other examples, and we're going to go over to heavy armor. And I want you to see something here. We go down this line over here, and we'll go down to Bull's Charge. A seemingly simple trick to the inexperienced, but one that requires eminent skill and balance. You bowl over your foes in a devastating charge. Well, Bull's Charge, that sounds really cool. Yeah, I like that. That's really good. But let's show another example before I move on here. Let's go to Conjuration. I'll show you a spell one here. And we go up to Conjuration, and we're looking at a relatively low skill, Harvest, and it says, you've begun down a dark path, having learned to rip a body to pieces for the raw materials needed to conduct your foul experiments. Huh. Alright, well, that sounds pretty cool. Be a necromancer and build zombies and skeletons. Yeah, that's cool. But what if there's missing information there? What if you're just looking for a little bit more? Well, that's where we'll come into our next example. Okay, and now we've installed PerMa Defluffed, and we're going to take a look at the same sort of skill sets, and we'll go through it real fast. We're back at blocking, and you'll almost instantly see the differences when we come up here. Safeguard, shield armor rating is increased by 15%. Blocking is 15% more effective. All right. So there's numbers. For you number guys, PerMa Defluff may be a better choice for you. You can see now quick reflex as a time blocking time interval increases to 0.5 seconds. Alright, so it kind of gives you an idea of what you're looking at now. You have numbers and you have a better idea of exactly what each one does. Okay, so is it as epic and is it as immersive as the non-defluff version, the normal PerMa version? Probably not. And I would almost like to see a little bit of both, and see the numbers and the brief description provided by Tendo and the guys. So there's your numbers version. Let's go look at heavy armor. We'll see this other example real fast, and you can then see what I was talking about for missing information. So Bull's Charge, you can see now, while wearing heavy arm, head, chest, and leg armor, and while not blocking, run into enemies to strike them down. Does not work on ghost dragons and giants. Alright, so now I know more about the skill and why I might want to have it, and more importantly, how to properly use it. You can see where, I can't be blocking and just run into them, expect them to knock them down. I need to be not blocking and run into them at full speed. And it doesn't work on ghost dragons or giants. Well, that kind of makes sense because they're big or kind of non-corporeal. So it gives you more information about what you want to see. So you can make a better decision about what you want to do. So let's go over to Harvest. We were looking at Conjuration. And this is another example of missing information. You come over to Harvest, and Harvest says, enter sneak mode and activate a humanoid carcass for an option to collect the bones and ingredients. After closing the inventory, the body will disappear. So that's some very important information there. That is, enter the sneak mode and activate a humanoid carcass, and then you collect the bones and ingredients. But after you close that inventory, the body will disappear. So quite possibly, if you collect the bones and stuff while in sneak mode, the body will disappear along with all the goods, all the, loot. Well, I don't want that. I don't want that to happen. So it's important information that you should know, that maybe the kind of immersive description would have kind of led to frustration for you. So there's that. And you can see this is obviously the vanilla setup. And next we're going to go look at extended UIs and why I think it might be a good choice. Alright guys, and here we are looking at extended UI. And right away you can see some big differences. The interface is very attractive now, and you can see down below it will give you the different skill trees in order. So you can see kind of where you are. If you say, well, I got to go down a Wayfarer, I think the best way would go, not this way, we want to go this way. You can see where you are in progression, so you can kind of know where you're headed. But, we'll go back to block, since that's what we were kind of at. We'll go back and you see it's slightly highlighted. You know where you are. And when you go up, you'll notice one of the first things it does, it pushes up and pushes down the menus at the top and bottom. And it definitely allows you kind of a longer range view of the different perk trees. And it makes it, a little easier to see where you're going on these things. And I do enjoy that. I enjoy being able to see a little bit of the skill trees on the left and right on that view. And I like that a lot better. Now, one of the other things I noticed is if you go over to, let's see, it was heavy, was over here. You can kind of see a little bit of a difference in Bull's Charge. There was a line and underneath Giants where that kind of gray bar underneath Giants, the word Giants, was actually intersecting over top of the word. Here you have a little more space and it's not so scrunched up. I think it just looks better. I think this interface with extended UI is very nice and very attractive. You can see it just makes it look so professional. So, note to Bethesda, if you want your next perk trees to look this good, talk to the author. He might be able to give you a few hints. So there's that. Let's finish up with this, and we will go ahead and go to the desktop and show you how to install both PerMa Defluffed and extended UI. Alright guys, so here we are at the desktop, but let's go ahead and install these real fast. They're actually pretty easy, so let's open up Model Organizer, and you can see Perkus Maximus is fully installed with Perkus Maximus. Everything's in its right place, and we'll go through this real fast. let's go to the Nexus and pull up our first one, which is going to be Defluffing hot files today. You got the tail of the snaky, the hot file snake right there. But if you want to search for this in coming months, we'll go ahead and hit this. And we just put in PerMa. And it's going to come up with all of our PerMa compatible patches and mods. And this, you can see Defluffing PerMa is right there. So we go ahead and click that. And give some basic examples, kind of, PerMa and then PerMa defluffed here on this. And the important things, if you've changed the language of Skyrim from English to anything else, you have to rename the strings in that language or crash the desktop. We don't like that. So I can give some examples for that. So let's go to the files and we can click that. And you can see that there's actually multiple versions. The one I used in the examples is Defluffing PerMa 1.1. It is the smaller descriptions. It fits a little better, I think, and you can see in that it. I just like the appearance better, so we'll go ahead and hit download with Manager on that. And you can see that it does require Tendo's Perkus Maximus, which we know we do have, and we hit download. And we go to our Downloads tab, and it is right there. Small file, obviously 248 kilobytes is pretty small, so we double click to install and we will hit manual just to be sure, and you can see everything looks good and we hit OK. And we will go ahead and deactivate that and we'll go to our plugins tab. And we'll come down and we'll take a look at things, and everything looks like it's all checked correctly. And you will notice that optional ESPs. You see it actually rewrites the Master, Thief, and Warrior ESPs. So it doesn't have its own, and you won't see this over here. But one of the things you will have to notice is overwrites files. And you can look at our conflicts, and it rewrites those. We kind of figured that would be the case. So what we want to do is move this up here. Right? Just get it out of the way. You don't want it below any of the Perkus Maximus stuff. And you can see now on Perkus Maximus, Maximum Perk Overhaul, under Conflicts, it shows that it's being rewritten by Defluffing PerMa. That's exactly what we want. That's it. Right? So now it is all done and in. You don't have to worry about anything in your plugins list. You're all ready to go. All right. So if you guys like the extended UI version, let's go through that real fast. It's another simple mod. We can go back to our page. Defluffing PerMa description page. Actually, we'll list it here, extended UI. If you want to go through that link, you can. Or you can hit search and put in extended. And you can see extended UI is right there. So download that. Or actually click it, and you can see what it does. And obviously, as I mentioned, it includes other things such as the expanded console command screen and the extended sleep times, but that's not what our main focus here is. So we're going to go ahead and click to our files and go to Extended UI and download with Manager. Now, obviously, you have SKSE because you have Perkus Maximus, so you don't have to worry about this, but you do have SKSE, but it is a prerequisite. And you click to download, and it should be done. It's another small file, and we go to our downloads page, and there it is, Extended UI. So we double click that to install. We'll check it manually. It's always a good practice to do so, and it looks good as well. And we will click to activate, just like that. So now on this, I generally like to put it in my user interface stuff. I will generally put it up here. Let's just keep going. I got a long list here. There's Sky UI. I like to have my UIs together. It doesn't overwrite anything. As you can see, there's no conflicts. It just adds kind of a new screen. So we'll go to our plugins. And it should be at the bottom here. Well, there it is. So Extended UI, because I locked these. So you can check the enabled masters, Skyrim ESN, and update ESM. So this can go anywhere also. But if you want to run loot with this, I have practiced this in the past, and it shouldn't cause any problems. And we'll just keep going, putting it up farther and farther and farther. Woo! Don't move that. Extended UI, I lost it. There it is. I'll just put it up here under Sky UI. Keep them together. That's just generally a good practice, so I kind of remember where things are. Now, you may be wondering, do I need to run Perkus Maximus again? And this is not been changed since I did a test with Perkus Maximus to see if it required Extended UI or unfluffing PerMa. And you can see by the enabled masters that it is nowhere listed there. So you don't really need to run Perkus Maximus again. I know that it is time intensive for you guys. So sometimes not having to run Perkus Maximus patcher is a good thing. So you're all set there. You don't need to worry about it. So that's it for the install. Let's go back to our desktop. And that's it. So everything will work. Everything's in its right place. I hope this tutorial was helpful to you. I'm going to sign off here. My name is Cal. I'm from Dirty Weasel. And I'm signing off.
I took an arrow. I took an arrow. I used to be an adventurer like that. Then I took an arrow again.